All right, hello UAAP fam. Your resident Boleros are back for episode 2 to talk
What's
about a week's
up?
worth of matches and of
Hey,
court chica. I'm Dale. Obviously, we have here Gab and Sam. Hey guys, what's up?
hey,
Hello.
what's up?
What's
What's up?
up? Lots
All
to talk
right.
about today.
I know 12 matches, di ba? Week's worth talaga. So marami that we need to unpack. But first, let's open the episode with some hot and fresh news. Actually, feeling ko dalawa yung breaking news natin. First up, may YouTube page na kami, by the way. So, I think that's worth hyping. So, just search for Boleros PH on YouTube. Actually,
May
kami yung
logo na.
Oo, may logo
May
pa kami.
logo na.
Prepared kami for episode 2. So,
Shouts to my
like,
wife
diba?
for making the
Woohoo!
logo and the backdrop.
Thank you sa
Thank you,
mga
Emma.
supporters. So,
Check out
like,
nyo yung page nila, Studio After 6, kung kailangan nyo ng tulong with creative and branding.
Nice.
dami shout out. I love it.
Libre. So,
Oo. True. So
promotion.
guys, like and subscribe if you love what you're hearing. If ayaw nyo, leave kayong comments. Open naman po tayo sa feedback.
Right.
Sasagutin namin lahat yan. Okay, so more importantly, doon tayo sa true breaking news that people actually care about. Fans will be back. Yeah.
Woo!
Nice.
Right.
Woo!
So we've talked about this in episode 1, diba? How weird it was not to have fans,
Yes.
not to hear the
Yep.
screaming fans, hecklers, ganyan.
Correct.
Anong na-feel nyo finally, Gab, Sam, nung ito na yung announcement?
Go ahead, Sam.
I think for me, I think it was just a matter of time bago nila i-announce yun, di ba? Even naman at the start, sabi nila, for the first round, wala munang fans, and then they were expecting to invite fans for the second round. Pero marami na ring events, like big events here, like professional leagues, yung volleyball, yung PBA, that do have like fans in attendance. So I guess they realized na it's really especially for the UAAP. I think I was just watching the Ateneo Salle game, and they were just talking about that na it's really a different environment kapag UAAP kasi wala, it's not like the NBA na may home court diba? It's really like your fans on one side, the other fans on the other side. So it's a different environment when you're playing, and yun yung big factor siya when they were talking about Ateneo and Salle kanina. So I think good to have the fans back. Obviously, it's still very limited. It's not going to be a jam-packed arena, so that's still the sad part about it. But I think it's a good first step. Although personally, syempre, I respect then, or I would understand that fans won't be able to attend, or takot pa rin sila mag-attend. I've talked to a few people na big fans of the game, and they have second thoughts. Parang, kung manonood ako, Ateneo Lasal lang, or the big games lang, kasi has to be worth it, diba? So,
Yep.
I'm not expecting much. I'm not expecting, let's say yung minimum capacity, or yung maximum capacity that they will allow, I'm not even sure if mapupuno yun. I don't know. Kasi, syempre, there's still COVID, so people want to play it safe.
For me, I had 3 reactions. My first was, are cheering squads back? That was my
It's a
first
good
reaction.
question.
I asked my former teammate who's now coach of Babol. Not an answer. We'll see if cheering squads will be back. But, I miss those drums, baby. I miss those drums.
Ayaw mo ng pre-recorded drums, Gab?
Iba ba? Iba tunog?
Tangina nung pre-recorded, pare, yung pinasa ko. Akala ko may drums. Wala pala. Speakers lang pala. Anyway, yun. Hopefully, my cheering squad's back. Although, I would think that they would be confined to one section, or maybe to the general admission lang para di sila nakakalat or interact with so many people. Second is, as a doctor, medyo kinakabahan ako for
Right.
full crowd Well, full crowd. Well, a sizable crowd in a closed arena, especially like MOA, air conditioned. Uh, I know people want to think that we're out of the pandemic, but we're still not. So yun. Uh, some friends of mine have been inviting me to watch a game next week. I'm still iffy about it. Well, first thing, well, that's a two-sided thing. Yung mga kalaban natin Ateneo, medyo lahat ng malalakas yung nakalaban na nila eh. So, worth
Right.
it
So,
ba to
gusto mo
risk?
sulitin, no? Gusto mo
Oh,
sulitin.
worth it
Dapat
ba to
yung
risk?
cost-benefit, di ba?
Oo.
Analysis, may
Yes.
ganun.
I think maraming
Mahal ang
ganun.
ticket ha?
Oo.
Mahal ang ticket.
How much? How much ba?
I don't know,
400?
but
Parang I
I
saw
would
somewhere
expect.
400. I think it was a post from one of the schools.
Although may discounts pa rin. May student discounts pa rin.
I'm not a student anymore.
Oh, wala sa ating
Anyway.
student.
Ayun lang.
Anyway.
Ayun lang.
So, yun. Kinakabahan pa rin ako kasi I don't want things to go back to what it was in January. So, yun. And did I say three? Yeah, I said three things, diba? The third thing is regards to refs. Kawawa na yung mga ref. Anyway, we'll discuss it later on. But I think the refs have been one of the more how do I say it? The lucky ones in the first 4 games. They only hear it from the coaches and sometimes from the players. But most of the time in a live UAP game, and I guess you both know this, a lot of the curses and the booing comes from the crowd. I mean,
Right. Of course.
alam mo naman how passionate
How
UAP fans
passionate.
are yung for their schools. Talagang no holds barred with regards to the ref. Now they're gonna have crowds. Kahit na lower box yan, sure ako maririnig ng mga ref lahat ng
For
mura.
sure.
Syempre.
Malapit din yun.
Saka mas onti tao lalo na
Oo.
kung limited capacity, di ba? Talagang pag nagmura ka dyan, rinig na rinig.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are my 3 takes on the fans being back at the arenas.
Just one thing no dun sa point ni Gab. I think yung fans being back, it's a risk for the fans, but I think it's also a risk for the players, diba? The one thing that I don't want lang sana to happen would be parang NBA at the start where a lot of players would miss games because of
Exactly.
COVID protocol. So hopefully wala namang ganun na mangyari. So hopefully everyone's safe and healthy.
Exactly. Actually, ako sobrang na-disappoint ako dun sa news. Like, as much as I want fans to be back, pero obviously, I understand the decision. And I don't think merong maltaas na or sobrang negative reaction na nagbawal sila ng fans eh. So, parang sa akin, yung sa players, sayang yung bubble that they have right now. I think that is a surefire way talaga of opening up the risk for the players and the coaching staff. So, fingers crossed na walang any surges. But yes, if you want to check out some live games available na, just please follow the minimum health protocols, diba? Okay, so
any one of us be watching?
Ako parang no pa.
Yeah. Personally, no.
Yeah,
It's a no for me.
Well, yeah, baka no. Well, yung sabi ko, yung mga kalaban ng Ateneo is not worth risking my life over or anyone close to me over. Baka sa TV na lang rin ako.
Oo. Ako kaya ko pang tiisin hanggang second round. Kaya wait and see.
Final 4.
Oo, ganun. Okay, so anyway, so for episode 2, we've also prepared a lot of hopefully fun segments for everyone. Feeling namin fun naman for us. So sana fun din for you guys. We'll start off with Ballers versus Boleros. Yes, sobrang proud kami dyan sa segment.
I love this segment. I'm excited. So Dale, paki-explain what's Ballers versus Boleros.
Alright, so basically, we just wanted to have a recap with a twist. Now, we wanted to see who are like the winners or the players or maybe something that stood out for us that really balled out during the week's worth of games. And then of course, on the flip side, we want to give a shout out, I guess, dun sa mga medyo ng bola lang. Medyo nagpaasa, medyo parang nakakainis, papatayan mo ng TV, ganyan. So, sa Boleros, anything goes then. Players, coaches, refs, or even commentators, everyone is fair game pagdating sa bowlers versus boleros. And all of us will have our own set also. So, who wants to start us off?
So just the mechanics. We all name one each, right?
Yep,
One bowler and one bolero.
Correct.
Where do
So
we
let's
start? Bowlers muna? Like
Bowlers
bowlers,
muna.
we go around and then
Yung
boleros, we go
Yes.
around. Okay.
let's be positive. Let's start with
Oo,
the
positive
bowlers first.
tayo.
Who wants
Sige,
to go
go, Gab.
first? All right. So my bowler of the week, sad to say, is the De La Salle Green Archers.
Akala ko ba positive? Sad agad.
Bakit sad? Oo nga.
Because isa ako eh.
Okay, fine.
Wala mo kayo ako sa Lasal.
Hirap na hirap po siyang sabihin yun.
Yeah, but yeah, but I have to give them credit. One of my worst takes, my worst statements of the year was saying that LaSalle will not make the Final Four. Mukhang mag-Final Four sila. Anyway, they played great this week, despite the loss earlier to Ateneo. Well, it's Ateneo. And Balti has been balling out. You know? The thing about LaSalle is Balti allows them to play big. I mean, Balti's what, 6'8", 6'7"?
Yeah.
Played centers first 3-4 years in LaSalle, and his skill set allows LaSalle to play with a lot of guards and still play with one big inside. And they can play Balti at center, but I think they would lose that advantage of having a big like Balti who can stretch the floor, shoot threes, jump shots. Grabe ang his skill package is his bag. His bag is so deep.
This dude is ready for the PBA. Like this dude is ready to go pro, actually.
Yeah. Actually, I would like to correct my statement. The winner is De La Salle and Balti. I think if anyone who's watching Balti now, someone has to tell him, don't even consider the PBA. I mean, you're way too good for the PBA. Take your talents somewhere else. If I were him, I'd try out for the NBL where Kai is. Get reps there, get a contract even if it's minimum, and try your luck. I think he has the size. He has the skills. Nico Ramos.
Sasabay.
Yeah. Nico Ramos pointed out earlier that Balti was a guard in a big man's body, and that is so true. He can dribble, he can shoot, and he has post moves as well, and he can defend. Lateral quickness, shot blocking, rim protection, it's all there. So, and kudos to the whole De La Salle team. The return of Mark Nonoy is great. I miss watching Mark Nonoy.
So fun to watch.
Diba?
Grabe. Parang, how, dude? How?
Well, he's just one gear higher than the rest of the players on the court. And if I were him, I'd shoot more of those long-range shots. I remember one of the games again. I think it was
May logo
against,
3 siya, di ba?
Yeah, logo 3. Kung ako, I would shoot that consistently.
Tapos meron pa siyang 2 threes nung game na yun na benga eh. Parang from the side, tapos tumama pa sa backboard, tapos pasok.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that too. So, and bagay na bagay siya sa system ni Derek Pumaren.
Right, yeah.
Derek Pumaren loves to press and gives them the license to run. And Mark Nono is a perfect fit. So is Evanelli. Yun, and I was surprised with Mike Phillips. Mike Phillips can hold his own against Ange Kwame. So, Ange Kwame got 19 rebounds a while ago, but that's Ange Kwame. But uh, yeah, very impressed with LaSalle. Made me eat my words. Shit.
Baller move nga yung buong team. And of course, Valpy. Sam?
Yeah, let me go next kasi sort of related to Gab's winners. Actually for me, winners of winners tuloy. Ballers of the week would be a group of people or individuals. So the surprises of the week. So I think one of them would be LaSalle. Um I think I was the only one who picked them to make the final four, but I mentioned that they would go number 3. Didn't expect them to play this well or be this good at as early as now. Parang akala ko they would pick up steam later on kasi diba new coach, new system, lots of new players. Pero I've been really impressed with LaSalle. Kahit kanina with the game against Ateneo, they kept up with Ateneo all throughout, no? So doon na lang din sila bandang dulo ng third na iwan ulit. So as mentioned by Gab, Nonoy, Phillips were amazing for LaSalle. Other surprises, I think for me, UST. Nobody expected UST, who lost their 3 superstars, Abando, Cancino, Nonoy, and some of their seniors, si Subido, to be 2-2 right now. Chabio, wala rin, diba? So, but anong standing nila ngayon? 2-2. So, they're tied with the Bulldogs for 4th place. I didn't expect that, to be honest. And I think none of us did, diba? I know it's early, pero that's like very surprising to me. So, congrats to UST for surprising us. Sorry,
nakinig sila sa yung nakinig sila sa yung sa Boleros natin sa first episode.
Wala
sobrang
place.
Kasi sobrang galit tayo sa kanila. Kaya sabi nila, sige, yung gumawa na tayo ng play.
Pakitaan natin.
Pakitaan natin itong si Gablim.
Sobrang sharpshooter ng ballers nila this past week. Sherwin Concepcion, ang dami.
Pinaulan. Grabe. Ibang level na yung shooting niya. But yeah, so I don't think any of us expected that, diba? So
yeah.
I think they deserve to be mentioned as part of the ballers of the week also.
Sa akin, ballers of the week ko, we're so happy for our UP jeepney drivers. Yes!
Thank you, Richie.
Thank you, Richie! Woo! Kasi nga, diba? So, we've talked about this episode 1. Medyo nagtipid ng konti si Richie Rivero. But he's back. The past 3 games ng UP, he really played well. Walang pilit, walang yung parang isang highlight lang si Richie. He made a mark, I think, in all of the games. Kanina versus UE, plus minus niya 20, 14 points, may steals pa siya, ganyan. And he also made some of his threes. And then, the other games, you'll also see, versus NU and versus UST, pareho 19 points. I think player of the game pa siya dun sa isang, in one of those 2 games I mentioned. So, I'm so happy
the Euro step. Euro step niya. I keep on forgetting how beautiful his Euro step is.
Pang-highlight naman talaga. So, I mean, once he does all of those highlights, but he also plays well off the ball and he also contributes in other areas of the game. Ayun nga, very active hands siya kanina and may mga rumi-rebound na rin siya. So, I'm so happy na this week, parang bounce back game niya talaga from day 1. Hopefully, I'll see more of him.
I just have one comment. For example, kanina, di ba? Tampak na eh. Ba't hindi na lang nila ibigay kay Richie lagi yung bola tapos just let him score like 30 points for the jeepney drivers? I mean, seriously, like 14 points, it's not enough. Parang Bigyan mo naman, patira ng tres. Ang galing na rin siya mag-tres di ba?
Ako kanina, 3 of 7 siya.
Yun lang for me.
From the 3-point line.
Just give it to him, man.
For me, for Richie, this was what I was looking for from him to come into this. I think this is his last season or last playing year. Uh, Prior to season 84 and season 82, he took a backseat to Kobe, to One GDL, to Jun Manzo. I think he only averaged from 6 points a game. And coming to the season, I think we all expected him to be back to his De La Salle form, and I'm happy for him. So happy to see that Euro step back. In season 82, where people were kind of expecting that Euro step, so they were uh, anticipating it for every drive, so he wasn't able to get it off that much. I think a while ago he was able to do 2 or 3. I saw from the highlights, two or three Euro steps. So, and his 3-point shot, he's shooting confidently. I love it. So,
yeah. I
go
think
Richie.
talaga once he saw the ball go in a couple of times game 2, ayun na, that gave back his rhythm. So, those are our ballers. I think, in fairness, iba-iba tayo ng ballers. I love it. So, ito fun din to. Boleros, sino yung mga nag-stand out sa inyo na bolero of the week? So, Gab, let's start again with you.
Why don't we do it in reverse? You go first, Dale, since you were last in the ball.
Oh, sige, go,
You
go,
go
Dale.
first.
You can
with
go.
the
Pwede
Bolero.
naman. Actually, dalawa yung pinagpilian ko sa Boleros. Pero, I'll go with FEU players not named RJ Abarrientos. So now, they're on a 3-game losing streak. So, parang nakaka-disappoint lang seeing how they played from game 1. And then, the next 3 games, walang consistency. Wala talagang consistency. So, I was looking at the box scores nung past 3 games nila, and kunwari versus NU, si RJ had 8 out of 15 3-pointers. The rest of the team, 0. Para sakit, di ba? And thanks also, shout out to Pong Docanes for all of the box scores. It really helps us follow the games as well. So, walang ibang katulong. I think siya nga lang yung nag-double digit eh. Versus DLSU, okay, may iba siyang kasama. Si LJ Ojulag, they played well, double digit for both of those guys. Pero ang nawala naman doon is si Alforque. Then when you look at their game from against Ateneo, baliktad naman. Ojula played well, Alforque also played well, pero nawala naman si LJ Gonzalez. So parang you have to have more consistency from your starters and kahit man lang from the 6th man from your bench. So they really, really need to get some help from the other players. And I think also from the press con kanina, galing na mismo kay Ron J. Sabi niya during the interview nga na nung nagwardyahan na siya nung 4th quarter, kasi nilaro niya maganda first 3 quarters eh.
Correct.
I think he was held to just a couple of points nung 4th quarter. Walang ibang shooter, walang ibang offense.
And parang every time he got to touch the ball, parang nagdo-double sa kanya eh.
Yes. So, 'di ba, wala siyang mapasahan, wala man lang kick out. The other players need to be more confident with their shots, and they need to just hustle more. He needs help.
I personally think they should go to Ojula more. Yeah. He's a pretty skilled big man. Surprisingly. They run a lot of pick and roll and drive and kick for their guards because Osunacela loves to make plays for his guards. But it wouldn't hurt to give Ojula some post-ups or maybe make him flash to the top of the key, have him operate, then play from here, play off of him at that position. I mean, he's a pretty skilled big man and has a shot. So I would throw that wrinkle in there if I was FEU because I think a few years back, not everyone was playing the transition style, the guard-centric style. But now, almost every team in the UAP is playing a lot of guard-heavy style of basketball, pick and rolls, drive and kick, a lot of threes. So they're playing FEU's game. So I think FEU has to do something different, maybe go inside and make some adjustments because sayang, 1-3. They're 1-3, right?
Yes, I think so. I think for me, good points by Dale. I wanna I think it's good that I'm next kasi for me it's sort of related. Bolero for the week for me, it would be the two Rosella coaches. I think we were all high
The
on
bad
We were
day
so
for the
high on
Rosella.
them.
we were all
Bad day.
high
Bad
on the
day.
Rosella teams, diba?
Hype na hype tayo sa
Dale,
kanila last episode.
oh, diba? Dale and Gab, pinili nyo ata Adamson, diba? To make
In
it to
the
the Final
Final
Four.
Four. Yeah.
I picked FE over
Isa pa
Adamson.
yun!
Sobrang na-hype din ako. Like, yung performance ni Abarrientos no start, I was really, Ajula was really good. I was really expecting FEU to sort of make a solid start. Sabi natin, Rasele, may system na yan, ganyan, okay yung players nila. I don't know what to say. Adamson lost to UST today, so that was si Adamson. I think they lost a couple of heartbreakers, diba? Yung NU was also they lost by like 2 points.
Yeah.
They lost to UST. It was also a close game. FEU was able to keep up with LaSalle also, but wala, they just couldn't finish. So I think ayun, Bolero for the week. Unfortunately the Rosella brothers for me. We'll see if they'll be able to bounce back. It's just the first week, so hindi pa naman tayo halfway. So when we talk again next week, we'll get a clearer picture of where their teams would be in terms of like the standings. But this was not a good first week for both Rosella brothers.
Awkward Sunday family dinner yan.
Siguro yung nag-exchange na sila ng notes. Tol, ano bang pwede namin gawin? Kayo, ano bang ginagawa niyo?
Sino bang older, Gab? Would you know? Like,
Si Nash, I
Nash.
think ang older.
Kuya Nash.
Alright, so my Bolero of the week. I can't believe hindi nyo to binring up. My Bolero of the week is One Sports. MVP Group, TV5.
Yes! Yes!
Alam namin.
Yes!
Aligned tayo dyan.
Yes!
Akala ko,
Yes,
Bolahan
agree.
talaga. Bolahan.
I don't understand the coverage of the UAAP. First of all, walang stats. I can't believe we're in 2022. We're still relying on screenshots of a PDF para sa stats natin. Who does this? I mean, don't you have a website? Pwede nyo i-upload yung stats? I don't know, you hire people to do the stats for you?
Konting
And, I
budget
don't know.
naman.
Diba? What are we doing? Yeah, shout out to Pong Ducanes who's posting every screenshot of the PDF.
Isang ang bayani, Sir
Yes.
Pong.
Sir
Tsaka
Pong,
baller.
thank you.
Baller ka, sir.
Yes. And you have to zoom in to the PDF file. It's crazy. In this day and age where the internet is very prevalent, you want on-demand content. You want it fast. And the fact that you have to search for Pong Ducanes, you have to know who Pong Ducanes is to get the stats of both the UAAP and the NCAA is crazy. Second thing, why is there such a barrier to watching the UAAP? I know it's on free TV. One Sports is on free TV, but for the who has TV nowadays?
Ako wala. Wala akong cable.
Hindi siya napipick up na TV namin.
May cable ka pa ba, Dale?
Wala kaming cable.
Wala
pero
din
hindi
kami.
siya napipick up kasi mahina.
Right.
Ano siya, mapili ng area.
Well, so yung swerte kami, my mom and dad still have Sky cable. And that's another thing. In this day and age, who watches on standard definition? Sino? I don't know that. Diba? HD naman, you up? Come on. TV5, One Sports, hindi ko na kaya ng standard edition. Hindi ko, yung pixelated na gano'n, wala na yun. Uh, and apparently, if you want One Sports HD, you have to get Signal TV, Signal cable, the cable brand, and then you have to pay extra, I think, for
For the
One Sports
HD.
for One Sports HD. This is crazy. And then apparently you can get HD. I just found out a while ago from the GigaPlay app. They say is it's all available to stream on the GigaPlay app at One Sports and One Sports HD. Okay, but at first I thought the GigaPlay app would only work with a smart SIM,
Mhm.
but apparently you also need to be connected to smart data, and you can't just connect to any Wi-Fi. You can only connect to PLDT.
Yes.
PLDT.
Ang weird,
So,
di ba?
So yun, it's such a the winner, the baller of the week is capitalism because they're winning.
Hello?
Ang dami mo kailangan bayaran yung para makanood na maayos. The
Daming
NCAA
effort. Sobrang daming effort.
The NCAA streams theirs on YouTube. Why can't once?
So, sinistream pa rin nila on YouTube yung NCAA games until now, Cap?
Yeah. They can stream.
So under GMA channel.
Yeah, they stream their games on YouTube and they upload it on YouTube. So,
okay.
if you didn't, if you're tired of watching
Yeah.
basketball for 8 hours in one day, you could just, okay, I'll just watch it later. I'll rest for a while.
Yeah.
So UAAP, you can't. Well, I think, Sam, you brought this up. You wanted to rewatch one game, but the only thing available to you was highlights.
Highlights na lang. Yeah, I think
Diba?
very good point. Good points lahat, Gab, no? Sa akin, ito yung biggest bolero. It's not bolero of the week. It's like, it's a scam. It's almost like a scam na to me na I can forgive yung first day. I think napag-usapan natin last week. Maraming medyo issues, technical issues nung first day last week. I remember, ako kasi, I've been watching sa GigaPlay app. So I bought a smart prepaid SIM just so that I can watch. Tapos may PLDT naman kami. But during the first day, I remember, I was telling the both of you na weird yung experience kasi they're like streaming the live telecast, pero yung commentator sa GigaPlay was different from the ones that were commentating dun sa live telecast. So may kita mo magpa-pop in yung faces na Willie Wilson talking, pero yung audio is different kasi it's like a different set of commentators covering the GigaPlay live telecast. Tapos they would talk, tapos alam mo yung mga pre-recorded videos of the courtside reporters, mapuputol yung yung comments nila. So that was such a weird experience, and I think they also realized that kasi now when I watched after the next few games, they just proceeded with the live telecast. So what you see on the live telecast, yun na rin yung nasa GigaPlay.
So same commentators na.
Same na. So
okay.
I think they realized this isn't gonna work. To Gab's point, same. Why are they making it so hard for fans to watch the games in SD or in high definition? I remember it wasn't this difficult before. So I remember there was a season na UAAP was also live streaming it on YouTube. They were live streaming it and then you could rewatch the entire game on YouTube 2 hours after, something like that. And then naalala ko, they removed that, which pissed me off. But to be fair, what they did was you could watch it on the iWant TV app, so you can download it for free. You can watch the entire game there live, or you can rewatch it. Or if ayaw mo i-download yung app, you can go to a website na parang UAAP live stream.
sports.abscbn.com.
Yes.
I remember that.
Sa office.
Yes. Doon tayo nanood, Dale. I remember
exactly.
office mates pa
Sa
tayo.
school, sa ASMPH, Binobroadcast namin yun sa big screen namin.
Exactly. 'Di ba? Tapos you just watch the live stream there and then same thing, maybe 2 hours later or maybe the next day at the longest, you could watch it quarter by quarter. So every time I would be fine with like missing a game if busy sa work or I was driving home at night, I could just always go back to the website, watch every quarter or even the next weekend I'll watch it if I haven't watched some of the games. So it was just so easy to watch the game. So okay lang kahit you miss out. I don't mind the ads, like the banners, ganon. But just the fact that it was accessible, that I like. Ito, ang daming blockers. I think for you to be able to watch the recordings of the games, you have to pay 75 pesos for Signal Premium.
Yeah.
I,
A
I
month,
checked it.
I don't think it's a one-time payment eh.
Ah, a
Yeah, it's a
month
month.
ba?
70. Yeah, it's a
75 a
month.
month.
Yung
Oh.
75
Diba?
pesos a month.
Diba? Ako, I agree with all of the points. Parang ang ironic nga na wala ka ng fans, diba? Dapat you make it as easy as possible for everyone to watch it. Tapos, ngayon pa sobrang daming barriers. Ngayon nga mas kailangan ng way for you to watch. And also, I think yung idadagdag ko na lang sa all of the points that Gab and Sam mentioned, the social media coverage is so crappy.
That's true.
So crappy. Parang this is
In
where
2022.
I know,
Meron
parang
ba? Meron bang social media coverage? Like,
kahit
question
papano.
mark, meron ba?
Kahit papano. So, kunwari, when you go to their Facebook page, the official one is UAAP Varsity Channel. But the
Okay.
updates there, you'll just see, let's say, the rankings, the schedule, halftime score, and then player of the game. That's it. When you go to their Twitter, where sports actually thrives, di ko alam
Right.
kung nag-review ba sila the past 2 years ng pandemic, Twitter nga is their best tool, di ba, for
Yes.
basketball.
Yes.
If you go to their Twitter page, it's just an announcements
Wala.
type
Correct.
of feed. Wala man lang other content na parang mas lifestyle. Mga bata to, di ba? Parang konting content naman. And everyone is already on social media. People are watching games also through Facebook, di ba? Wala bang nakaisip nun sa marketing or sa comms nila? Parang ang frustrating talaga. Nakakaloka.
Alam mo,
And
good point, Dale. Kasi I just realized, di ba we were talking about the games kanina when we were doing our pre-prod. Tapos ako talaga, when I want to see live tweets of the game, I go to Rappler. I go to Rappler Sports
For their
instead
live updates.
for their
right?
live updates. But before, alala ko, I go to the official UAAP
Yes.
account.
Same.
So, that's a good point. I just realized that now na Rappler na pala yung tinitingnan ko. Kasi parang wala akong nakikita from their account on Twitter.
Diba? Parang when you're broadcasting at this day and age, parang dapat nasa checklist mo yung social media channels. And it's so easy to quote-unquote copy what the NBA is doing. We can't.
and from a management perspective, I assume that since they're not getting any ticket revenue, a lot of their revenue comes siguro from TV, which also comes from ads, di ba? Ito mga PS Bank, bankable player of the game, ganun, ganun. But in order for you to get more sponsors, ads, you have to get more exposure. Diba? You have to get more people talking about you. You have to get more fans watching your games. So, medyo counterintuitive yung to pay extra to watch high definition, to pay extra to watch a replay of the game. So, yun. It reminds me of the Olympics in the US. You know, when to watch the Olympics, you have to get Peacock TV. Then when you get Peacock TV, apparently you can't watch the Olympics yet. Yeah, you have to get Peacock TV Premium or something. Yeah, there was, and yung Americans were pissed because yun nga, they thought that they were getting the Olympics by signing to Peacock TV, but pag, pag yung pagkuha na ng Peacock TV, ay wait, we have to pay an extra, I think, $10 a month to get the Olympics, which only lasts for a month. Diba? So yun, ganun. Actually, now that I think about it, yung real bolero of the week or kung sino man yung pinaka-loser ng week, tayo mga UAP fans.
The fans, no?
The
Yep.
The
fans.
fans.
Special shout out to any fans that are in foreign countries. Apparently, you can't watch the games there anymore.
Yep. Isa pa yan.
Signal actually blocks the VPNs, the proxies for the VPN.
So
So
kahit
even if you use a
mag-VPN, wala.
yun ang narinig, yung I just saw from some Ateneans commenting
That
that
sucks.
even though they have a VPN, they can't access Signal Play, they can't watch ABS-CBN and ABS-CBN is no more, so no more the Filipino channel.
Oo
And
nga.
I don't think they have smart SIMs there.
Benta
para mo na
tayo. Benta
para
tayo
mo
sa
na
mga
UAAP.
Abangan nyo
Mag-i-import
sa
ka ba ng
comments.
smart SIM?
Import tayo.
Ng smart SIM sa bansa mo para makaroon ka ng UAAP. Crazy. Anyway,
Someone from
so
One
sad.
Sports should subscribe to our channel. We have
Sana.
ideas.
Oo nga, we have ideas. Listen to our
Okay.
ideas.
Yes. But anyway, I think marami pa tayong gripes talaga about this bolero, specific bolero of the week. But we need to move on and try to enjoy also the other fun stuff that happened throughout the week. So we have another segment for you guys for this episode. We call it Sit, Start, Cut. Medyo madali namang intindihin, but I'll let Gab take it away.
So for this segment, I think so I'll just give 3 players or 3 um, people, and both of you can choose which one to start, which one to sit, and which one to cut. You can base it off anything, the week that they played, the overall impression that they gave you. So to start, let's give something let's give a homer category. We all, as I said in the last episode, I was very impressed by UP, and I think they showed that they're one of the top teams in this competition. And they have a lot of young players. So sit, start, and cut. Carl Tamayo, Zabe Lucero, or Terence Fortea. 3 young players playing big minutes for UP, all of them. Who would you start? Who would you sit? Who would you cut?
Hirap, in fairness.
You wanna go
Meron
ahead
ka na ba,
first?
Sam?
Parang
Ay,
meron ako. Meron ako.
Sige.
sige.
Gusto mo ako?
Go Sam, go Sam.
Go for it.
Sige. Sit, start, cut. Lucero, Tamayo, Fortea. Okay.
Yep.
I think I would cut Fortea kasi I actually parang feel ko kulang pa yung nakikita ko from Fortea. Ang galing din talaga ng guard rotation ng UP. So maybe baka kaya he doesn't need to, do much for UP to do good. They have a lot of like deep actually in lineup nila when it comes to the guards. So yun. For the 2, I think I have to start Carl Tamayo kasi I'm a really big believer in Carl Tamayo. I saw him nung NU, like I saw him live nung NU High School Juniors versus Ateneo before. Tapos sobrang napabilib niya ako sa Gilas games. For me, may ano din siya, may ano ba siya, RDO yung dating or ganung type na big man center forward na may shooting, soft touch. So I just really love this guy. Si Lucero, I think nung first game against Ateneo, he didn't do much pero sobrang lakas niya the following games, the succeeding games. But I would sit him because I think he would be a perfect guy off the bench. Parang imagine mo he would be your sixth sort of like six-man. He can play multiple positions. He's big, he's agile, he can handle a little. So I'd like to see him off the bench. But wala, I'm sorry, medyo gusto ko talaga si Carl Tamayo sa UP. So I have to choose him over Lucero. But it's a tight race between the two.
Mm-mm. Parang ano nga, sa akin, ang nagkabaliktad lang sa atin would be the start and the sit. Because for Fortea, I will also cut him. Although, parang the circumstance maybe doesn't fit right now kasi parang ang daming minutes for the two other players mentioned. Doon lang naman sa options, 'di ba? Hindi naman sa
Okay.
Yon. So, parang siya rin talaga yung matic na cut for me. And then, I will sit Tamayo. Feeling ko, magiging part siya ng, super subs. Kasi right now, if I'm not mistaken, Cancino is coming from the bench.
Bench, yeah.
Yun. So, feeling ko, the two, with their connection, parang, this will help us, parang, dun sa games na obviously nawala yung starters, ganyan, this will give us some breathing room for the bench to have some offense also kung si Tamayo ay coming off the bench din. And then I'll start save. Apparently save ang ano niya.
Save, not salve.
Save Lucero. Thank you for correcting us, analysts. But anyway, I will start him. Just basing off of the past two games, I think he's been player of the game twice na for UP. So I think he deserves the recognition also if we start him. So that's my choice.
Okay lang. I gotta react. Automatic cut si Terence Fortea. Have none of you been watching the games?
Mahirap kasi yung pagpipilian.
Okay. Actually ako sa inyo, total opposite. I actually start Terence Fortea.
Okay.
Okay. Here's my case. In UP, there's a lot of star players, quote unquote star players, scorers. If you watch the games, I think Abadiano and Terence Fortea play what I believe to be the most important role, the point guard role, the non-scoring point guard role. I think we call this the traditional point guard. You know, the point guard before the Allen Iverson era, the point guard who will distribute, who will set the play, just orchestrate everything. That's Terence Fortea. Hindi mo ba nakita yun? Ang galing niya. He's so calm, sets everybody up, and
solid defense.
Pesky
defense.
Yes, and I'd actually sit Carl Tamayo and cut Zave Lucero. I think Zave has a lot of energy, a lot of talent, but I think the importance to UP has to be given to Terence Fortea.
Okay. I mean, fair point.
Interesting.
Sa akin lang, I think size matters din. Lalo na if matapat ka, let's say, to a Salle.
Oo, parang sobrang liliit ng lineup pag si Fortea yung ano.
Ang daming guards kasi ng UP.
Oo.
Ang dami. So, feel ko, kaya naman. The others can pick it up. Next, Gab.
Okay, next. So, what I've mentioned previously is that the UAP has become a guard-driven league. I think we can all agree. Yung pinaka exception to the rule is Justin Baltazar because he's 6'8" and has guard skills. But so there have been 3 guards that have impressed me the most in the first week. So sit, start, and cut. Jerome Lastimosa, RJ Avarientos, and Mark Nonoy.
I can start.
Okay, go.
As much as it pains me dahil ang hot take ko last week ay top 2 ang Adamson. I will cut Lastimosa. I think there were some instances na medyo nag-hero ball na I mean, 'di ba ang tapang niya kasi talaga, eh. So hindi ko naman maalis 'yun sa kanya. But sometimes maybe not in the flow of the game, or yun nga yung mga lagi niyo sinasabi, 'di ba? Or the decision making also can be improved. So just basing off of this week, ang sakit lang na ganito yung standings ng Adams. So I will cut him, and then I will start a Barrientos pa rin. I think
Ooh.
I will still, yeah, I will still pick him. I think it's important, especially for FEU, to start strong. And then hopefully get the other guys. Parang okay, fine, kung diesel sila na medyo late sila mag-init, tulungan na lang nila si RJ towards the end. But I think it's super important for them to set the tone early and see our Barrientos shots get in. They need that. And then I will sit Nonoy. I think okay pa rin naman siya. Super sub pa rin naman siya. Doon sa last 2 games nila, I think, yung versus FEU, 15 minutes of play lang siya, pero 17 points. So yung burst na yon, parang okay siya doon sa crucial time out or sa crucial time na ipapasok siya ni coach. Feeling ko
Spark plug. Spark plug.
doon siya talaga magsa-thrive. So I'm okay with sitting him.
You know what? I actually agree with Dale on this. I would cut Jerome Lastimosa, Gab's pick for MVP.
Wait lang. Hot take yun. Hot take.
Okay.
Hot take.
It's my turn. Hindi. Like, Jerome Lastimosa is really good. Pero, I'm just basing it off this week. And ang ganda din talaga kasi ng performance ni RJ on most games except against Ateneo, I think. So I would start RJ just like Dale. I'm a big fan of RJ, na mention ko na to nung first time natin nag-meet. I think lang the problem with RJ and something we saw sa Ateneo and at the end of the game kanina, wala siya masyado talagang teammates na pwedeng pasahan, puntahan, or asahan to sort of take over the game kapag nababantayan siya. So once nabantayan siya or the opposing team adjusts their defense on him, nahihirapan siya. So I won't take it against him. Although ganun din yung kay Jerome Lastimosa, I think same situation. Once nabantayan na siya, nahihirapan siya. But I will give it to RJ because rookie lang si RJ, but he plays like a man among boys. I would sit Mark Nonoy. I also love this guy. Super bilis, fearless. Yun na nga, I wrote this down on my notes. May logo 3 siya. May dalawa siyang tres na hindi ko alam kung chamba o sinadya niyang boarding. Pero ibang level din talaga to si Mark Nonoy. Perfect guy off the bench. Doesn't matter if you don't start as long as you finish the games. Diba? So I think nung isang game, it was their second game, I think, nung Tuesday, na parang siya tsaka si Balti nag-adjust lang sila, exchanging, taking turns scoring for Lasag. So solid contributions from Nonoy this week.
May iba ba yung ikakat mo, Gab?
I wouldn't cut Jerome Lastimosa.
Who will you cut? RJ?
So sino? RJ? Nonoy. RJ.
Wow.
RJ ako.
Bakit RJ?
You talk about hero ball. I think he's the most hero bally player among those 3.
But he makes it.
Wala siyang choice eh.
Oo.
Jerome Lastimosa had 15.7 rebounds, 9 assists in the game a while ago.
Barrientos had 33.
Ayun nga! Hero ball!
Wala nang iba eh.
He had LJ Gonzalez. Well, that's more LJ Gonzalez problem, I think, than RJ. But yeah, I'd go Jerome Lastimosa. I think the experience, and I think he has balls. si Jerome Lastimosa. Ano mo yun? You know the pedigree that he has. He'll take that shot when you need it. And so does Mark Nonoy. Si Mark Nonoy, tapang lang eh. Just keeps on going. Anyway, here's a not so technical sit start cut. So since it's been 2 years since we had UAAP, I'm sure may players kayo na pa, who? Sino yan? Ganon. So, but they played
Marami.
well.
Marami.
They played well. So sit.
Roster.
I'm sure anyone who's listening to this, when you first watched the first day of the UAAP, ang dami nyo, huh? Who's that? Diba? So, ako marami, but I picked the top 3 who had talagang the who games of the week. My first is Janjan Felicilda. I think he has many who games. He's playing the bulk of the point guard minutes for NU anyway. Second is si Deshaun Winston. Who? I think talaga yung who natin eh. Who's this? And then third is Hanapi from
Adamson.
Yun talaga ako rin. Nung second half, parang banggo siya ng first half. Parang, who? So, go ahead.
Ako na ba, Sam? Ako,
Sige lang.
I'll be super honest. Hindi ako masyadong familiar hindi ko kasi masyado napanood lahat nung sa NU eh. So, hirap ako kay Felicilda. But at the same time, gusto ko i-cut si Deshaun. Kasi nakakainis siya sa ibang games ng last. So,
Bakit siya nakakainis? Is it the hair?
Non-factor.
oo, non-factor siya na parang, syempre, di ba, yung expectations mo ng game 1. Siya na nga yung nilalagay ng konting social media coverage nila dun sa parang next game, di ba? Parang may pipiliin
Sa mga
Siya na yung
posters.
face.
Oo.
Siya na yung face.
Siya na yung face.
Nasa PubMat ka na, pag ginagamit ka na sa publicity material, di ba? Dapat naman lumevel.
Magpakita ka naman.
Oo. So even if I'm not super familiar with Felicilda, I'll just cut the Shawnee. I'll cut Shawnee, I'll sit Felicilda, and I'll start Hanapi. Ganda ng nilalaro pa rin ni Hanapi. I think once he gets into mas consistent na siya, he can be a good help talaga for Jerome.
Okay.
So, very quick lang.
Okay. I want to give a different answer to Dale. So, actually, ako naman, NU yung napapanood ko. And sobrang galing nitong Felicilda na to. Believe ako sa kanya. Sobrang gritty.
And he's so
tough
small.
Defense na mabilis. Saan ba siya
Pinanood ko yan.
galing?
Manonood ako ng
Saan ba siya galing, Gab?
I have no idea. Kaya ka na pa, who?
So I like this guy.
Okay.
I think one of the reasons why they're doing better than what we expected, I guess. So I would start Felicilda. I would sit Shawnee. Ano ba talaga name niya?
Nickname niya yung Shawnee.
Yung nickname niya
Shawnee.
Shawnee Winston.
Starter ba siya? Starter ba siya sa...
Yeah, I think he starts and then Mark Nonoy comes off the bench.
Comes off the bench. Okay, sige. So, I would sit this guy. Parang hindi pa ganun ka-consistent but we know na he can play and he can score. So, baka he just needs to sit muna and then watch the game before he takes over. And then I would cut Hanapi. He had a good start pero medyo bumagal nga siya for me. Although I didn't get to watch his performance kanina. So hindi ko sure kung okay ba siya kanina.
It was the Jerome Lastimosa show a while ago.
But Felicilda, this guy, ang galing. Believe.
All right. Thanks for playing, guys. So, I agree with Sam. I'd start yung Felicilda. I love this kid. Siya talaga yung pinaka pa. He's scoring 17 points? Oh my God.
Hahanapin
He's so
ko na siya.
small.
Dapat ata mag-ano tayo eh. Who he play for?
Parang babagsak ako doon.
Good luck sa atin.
Especially kung taga-UE. Hindi ko nakilala yung taga-UE.
Ateneo, drop ka pa talaga ng
Wow,
team.
Gab, wow.
Sorry!
Wala tayong
No
makuha
one-
subscribers from you. Pag ganyan.
No one was
Oo nga
left
eh.
from the previous team!
Well, that's true.
Barely. Anyway. Ah, thanks, guys. That
was
was
fun.
fun.
Let's do it again next time.
Yeah.
What's
Excite-
next, Dale?
Oo, exciting yung mga pinipili na tong si Gab. So, parang pop quiz for both Sam and myself.
I know. Nakaka-stress.
Yeah. So, dahil nga we're towards the tail end of this episode, I guess let's also just maybe have a few thoughts about what happened during this week. Parang ano yung ano nyo lang, key takeaway from all of the games and all of the players that you've watched. Gusto nyo ba?
I'll go first.
Sige. Go.
I'll go first. So, key takeaway. Well, I'm biased, so I gotta go with a homer pick. Team to beat still Ateneo. Gotta give it to them. They just do it by committee. One of the things that I want to talk about, how quote unquote disappointed I am so far with SJ Belangel. He hasn't scored more than six points in all of the games. He's taken a back seat to Tyler Tio. So despite that, Ateneo is undefeated and they've had a different leading scorer in each game. Sorry. Ange led the scoring pala twice na. So Ange Kwame still doing it. And then it'll be interesting to see how, if any team beats Ateneo. I gotta say it. I was not confident in the sweep capabilities of Ateneo to start the season, fresh faces and all that. But they're impressive. They're so deep. Even Forsky Padrigao, their third point guard, is producing, playing minutes. And they've beaten all the top 4 teams. Well, the quote-unquote top 4 already. Yun nga, yung next 3 na kalaban nila are all at the bottom of the standings. So I expect a sweep of the first round from my alma mater, and it'll be exciting who can pull off the upset on Ateneo.
I think everyone can agree naman. Parang lahat ng teams, obviously nakaharap na nila lahat ngayon. Parang, ayan na naman, takot na naman tayo sa Ateneo. Parang ano yung term doon? Parang nabuhusan ng malamig na tubig lahat. Na parang, they're still the same team. Gising pa
Malakas
rin.
pa rin Ateneo.
Oo, parang, ay, kagulat. Sa akin, very quick lang na takeaway. When I was looking at the box scores nga from Sir Pong, I was surprised to see that teams are now taking like 30 plus attempts sa 3-point line. I guess lahat nga ng players ngayon ay talagang, so gusto maging splash bro, but not everyone is born with those hot hands from Steph and Clay. Na parang raining threes talaga all over. And it's not just one team. So for example, like UST took 42 attempts pala kanina. I mean, it was to their advantage, yes. Diba? They made 14. And it's not just from one player. Parang 2 or 3 players nila made it rain. Unfortunately, for some other teams, like UE, they took 33 attempts before versus UP. 9 lang yung pumasok. Tapos si FEU naman, 30 attempts, 8 lang yung pumasok. Ang sakit sa mata ng field goal, ng 3-point percentages nitong mga nire-review ko kanina na box score. So, it's becoming the norm. Teams are taking 40 attempts, 36 attempts, 30. And then parang normal na lang yung 25, 29, ganyan. So, medyo at parang surprising, but at the same time, nung na-confirm ko yun sa score sheet, parang, okay, talagang people, the players talaga are taking the ball farther and farther from the paint.
I agree. Yung observation ko from the last podcast, all of the teams are playing with essentially one big and running pick and rolls off that
Mhm.
one big.
Yep.
Exceptional lang ang Lasal, but I don't think if you count Balti as a big, I think sige, too big sila. But and UP who plays Carl Tamayo, but Carl Tamayo
Yeah.
is a guard also,
Mm-mm.
quote unquote a guard. So yeah,
It's raining. It's raining threes.
I think they need to learn how to slow down though. I think sa UST what made them win two straight games was they slowed the game down a bit. They ran some plays. Uh, to Ateneo is the most consistent one. They run their offense. They run fast breaks when they need to, but they run their half court offense so well. So and that's why they're still undefeated. Go ahead, Sam.
Nothing much to add. I think for me that was also a big takeaway na Ateneo is still the team to beat. I mean, we sort of talked about it already, pero just like everyone else here, hindi ko in-expect na ganito sila kagaling na given na ang dami ding bagong players sa Ateneo, ang daming rookies just like all the other teams. But siguro just one thing to add, medyo we all said na UP would be the clear number 2, pero I think it's going to be a tighter race. It's always exciting to have a good Lasal team. So realistically, we could have an Ateneo Lasal in the final four or the final. So that's always exciting. So yun. So for me, I think that's good for all the fans na it's going to be a tight race for the final four this year. Something to watch out for. Yun lang naman for me.
Kung mag-Ateneo Lasal Finals, I'm risking my life. Risking my life.
That's worth risking your life, no, Gab?
Yep.
Yan naman katanggap-tanggap. So I'm glad na si Sam minention na niya yung 2 and 3 spot kasi let's look at the rankings very quick lang. Top 4 teams right now after the game kanina ng Ateneo. So again, unbeaten pa rin sila, 4-0. Coming at number 2 and 3, tied ranking between LaSalle and UP, 3 wins apiece, 1 loss. And then NU, UST, tied also at 2-2. And then Adamson FEU with 1 win each. UE, hopefully, they get 1 in the next few games. Although, pag tinignan natin yung schedule ng UE, medyo mabigat. They will face off with FEU, with Ateneo, and with NU. So medyo, feeling nyo ba makakaisa ang UE in those next 3 games?
Parang malabo yun.
Diba? Parang, medyo mahirap. But that is something
We'll
to
see.
that is something to watch out for next week. Next week also will
It's been
I think
a tough past 4-5 years for UE.
I think for me for
Grabe,
next week
tagal.
just to add for next week, what I'm going to watch out for is that UP Lasal game. April 7, 10 a.m. First game pa.
Go.
I think yun yung game of the week for me.
May inaabangan ka na bang game, Gab?
More of the same, the LaSalle UP matchup. I want to see the Balti Carl Tamayo matchup. However, I still think Balti is the superior big man, but I don't know. It's gonna be fast. Well, I hope they slow it down. At some point na on the run and gun thing, parang okay, it's fun, it's fast. At some point, parang binibigay niya yung bola, ang dami ng missed shots. Slow it down. So, yun. I'm excited for that Lasal UP matchup though.
Marami ring excited for Ateneo NU because the brothers will face off against each other. That's on Tuesday. Ateneo versus NU. The big guns will be out.
Those deltoids will be out. Beautiful.
Yes, the big guns. But again, I think we were able to recap naman a lot of the highlights for this game. And for next week, you can expect to see another episode from your resident Boleros. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our page. Again, just search for Boleros PH. We'll keep you guys updated kung magkakaroon pa kami ng ibang social media channels.
We'll try. We'll see.
Wow!
We'll try to have a coverage. Wow, daming time. Or baka may merch kami soon.
Merch na agad! Oh.
Para
Wow,
may
wow.
ano, para may
Dropping bombs.
Para may something to, ano naman, to look forward to for our subs.
Let's go.
Sige.
But that's it for us for episode 2. Thanks again, guys, for listening. Till next week.
See
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye, everyone.